She's the one that does it, then.
Yeah. What's that? Yeah.
Make sure that she went to
Have no choice.
Come on.
It's up to the lotto machine.
Tell the lotto machine.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna get a stamp for it.
You know what I mean?
All righty, can we just stand for the pledge, please? I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
If we could just stay standing and take a moment of silence for all law enforcement that have given their life to serve their community. Thank you. If everyone could just check their cell phones and make sure they're off or on silent, that would be great. I need a motion to accept the minutes from May 4th, 2017.
Make the motion to accept the meeting minutes?
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Correspondence, Kathleen?
I have the proclamation for National Police Week 2017. 3 quotes for the fence for the dog park. Correspondence from the Times Herald Record that effective May 29th, there will be a slight rate increase. Copy, or the original resolution from the zoning board regarding Borrego Solar and Warren Pearson, and another resolution regarding Lee Chen. Planning board notice of public hearing for property located at the corner of County Route 24 and Hill Road. Property owners Pete and Bonnie Leisure and Robert Henman. Certificate of attendance for the Board of Assessment Review training by Laura Sedita. 3 different complaints regarding 160 Tally Hill Road. Correspondence, a copy of correspondence to the Town of Mamakating Planning Board from residents regarding being an interested party. Police Department budget modification, supervisor's report for April 2017. Monthly report for the police department, and the March report for Otisville Fire. That's all I have. That came late at the last meeting.
Thanks, Kathleen. Board member reports. What do you got, Don?
As far as the upgrade to the sewer plant, the last I talked to them, which was just about a week ago, they were in the phase of doing the final hookups to the control system with the new system. They would start their testing and work out the bugs, and they'll be done very shortly. As far as the school, there's nothing I need to report. That you guys will talk about that.
Janet?
Everybody received the dog park quotes. I apologize for not being here last meeting. I had an accident at work. There are 98 library cards sold so far. Yeah, that's it. I mean, we had the planning board, we had zoning board. Zoning board will meet first, Kathleen, what's the first Wednesday in June? They do have
The
something on the 7th.
Yeah, June 7th.
Okay, so there will be a zoning board meeting, and then the 21st would be planning board.
Brian?
I want to talk about the 3 quotes that I got in my mailbox. So my first question is, we have 3 quotes, and I guess it's no secret where we got them from. One is from Buildwell, one is from Excelsior Fence, and the third one is from a company called, how do you pronounce that, Janet? Capurus. So I guess my first question that came to mind is, I live less than a mile from Ketchum Fence, and I'm curious why a local company wouldn't have the opportunity to bid when they're the ones that wrote the original proposal.
Okay, I had reached out to Ketchum, and I spoke to Rob, and he had put me in touch with Jerry, and I called and left a message for Jerry, and I didn't hear anything back. So at the time, 2 weeks ago, or 10 days ago, when you guys had requested this, I turned them in. and
Well,
I
let me
haven't
tell you
heard
what I did.
anything.
I went to Ketchum Fence today. And I have two people in the audience that I'd like to hear from when it's public time to ask that question to. I just don't understand why we wouldn't support a local company, or at least give them the opportunity.
We would
to do that.
absolutely support a local company
Just
and
checking.
give them the opportunity to.
I'm curious to hear what they have to say. On Friday, I went to a seminar with Dean and his wife Amy down in Goshen. We went to a seminar, which I have one of these for each of you, on smart meters. Here's one for you. Here, you get the important part. I'm gonna make this kind of brief because it's interesting, I guess you'd say, but someone from O&R eventually, 90 days before they start installing these, is actually gonna come to our meeting and talk about it, so. Here's what I learned about smart meters. O&R is putting out a program, which I'm not sure exactly what it's costing. Do you remember what it's gonna cost them, Dean?
No, I don't think they said.
All right, yeah, they probably don't wanna say. They're gonna switch out everyone's meters in Orange County in 2018. Right now, they're in the process of switching them out in Rockland County. So a couple of notes that I got basically is they're going to work over a cellular network with 24/7 reporting capabilities. I think the neat thing is if you move into town and you kind of contact O&R before you close on your house, they can actually switch on your power remotely instead of sending guys out to obviously do that. What else do I have here? Someone from O&R is obviously gonna come here to our board meeting 90 days before they start installing, but pretty huge project. I think there was a lot of information about it. I'll definitely, I posted some stuff on the Facebook page about it, who we met, took some pictures, and that's all I really got for that part of it. Summer rec. I just wanted to say we have 100 kids signed up right now. There are about 100 kids. Our last day of signups for early bird, as we're gonna call it, registration was today. So if anyone would like to sign up, please come to Town Hall, 8 to 4 and sign up. Minisink Valley Football. They are having an event on June 2nd, which I told them I'd talk about here. It's called Friday Night Lights Skills Challenge. It's over at the John Bell Field in Greenville, thank you. I have some information about it, I'll also post it on the Facebook page if any kids are interested in doing that. I found out today we got our grant money for our summer concert series, that came in. I think that's all hold on 1 second, let me see what else I have today. That's all I have for today.
Matt?
Two items. The Comprehensive Plan Committee will meet on the 18th, that's this Thursday, at 5 p.m. here at the Town Hall. And we have an event from our local VFW. We have on Monday, May 29th, the Memorial Day. Members of the Veterans of Foreign War Memorial Post 5497 will hold a ceremony at the Veterans Memorial Park on Main Street in Otisville to honor those local servicemen who were killed in action. We'll be meeting at the monument at 11 a.m. The ceremony will begin promptly at 11:30 and conclude at noon. Everybody's invited to attend. We're going to post this, if we could, on the website.
Sure.
And if we put on the Facebook, Brian, if everybody,
We'll take your name out.
correct, yeah, we'll do it to the public. So. And that's all for this evening.
Highway, Dean?
The roofing materials that we approved last month, or last meeting, they're ordered. I don't have a time frame when they'll be here yet, but once the materials are here, we'll schedule with the contractor that's gonna oversee the job, and I'll keep the board posted as when it will be done. Actually this Wednesday and Thursday, we're fiber matting Hidden Valley. We were supposed to do it last week, but with those cold temperatures, we had to cancel it. So I guess Wednesday we're going to be into summer now, so we'll be doing that this week. And the only other thing I have is, as you all know, we go around and mow different areas of the town properties. For the last 6 or 7 years, the summer help has used a trailer that I own, and I'm selling the trailer this year, so we need to get a small, well, it's not a small trailer, but it's a 20-foot landscape trailer. It's 3,700, well, actually 3,816. According to the procurement policy, I need 2 bids. The second bid there is from the internet. I scored the internet this morning and found the cheapest I could find. As you can see, it's in Northford, Connecticut, and it's only $75 less. So our local suppliers, Congelosi's Trailers, we've done business with them before. So I'd like the approval to purchase that trailer. Hopefully it would be here before summer help starts. Just so you know, we do have a tag-along trailer, but it's a tilt bed. It has no ramps. And to load two or three mowers on it is very tricky, and I don't trust the summer help with doing that. The highway guys can do it, but it's still not what it's made for.
Is this in stock, Dean?
They're on order. He told me if I gave him a PO, he would tag one of the ones that are on order for us. So I don't have a delivery date. But summer help starts here in 4 or 5 weeks, so. That is all I have.
Does anyone have any questions for Dean on this?
I have one. Does an open trailer make more sense than a closed trailer to you?
An enclosed trailer would just give us the advantage of leaving the weed whackers and blowers and gas cans in it. But I did price them out, and the cheapest I found was $5,500, I believe.
So not much of a difference.
It's not a great difference, but it's another
Yeah.
$1,700.
And you'll be fine with the open one?
Yeah.
You guys have any questions? All right, well, just so I don't get balled up here, so how about a motion to approve Congelosky trailer for $3,816 for the purchase of a 7x20 open trailer.
I'll make the motion to approve the bid to Congelosi.
Second?
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
All right. Fire department, they're not coming.
Tony Capola stopped in earlier, Chief Capola, and he gave me copies of his, your calls for the month.
All right.
He apologized for not being able to be here. He said he will call you and set up an appointment to talk about Community Day.
All right.
That's it. And he stopped just a little while ago.
All right. Perfect. Police, Paul?
Thanks. Just a couple quick things. Along with the Community Day, after tonight, with your approval of the minutes, we'll have the resolution from last meeting, so we're all set. I got the insurance paperwork today, so for the fire trailer, we'll be good to go hopefully tomorrow to get that down to the county. The budget modification, that's to reflect 4-H's payment for the services for their run back in April. And the resolution is recognizing Police Week. And lastly, and we'll go to the police awards at the end, but I would look for an executive session to discuss a personnel issue and for you to invite Jim Corcoran also into the discussion.
Sure. So we'll do that right as soon as we finish these committees right here. We'll
Sure.
take this session. Village of Otisville, Diane?
Don't really have much this evening. As you know, our meeting was the same night as your meeting 2 weeks ago, so at that meeting, Chet had sent over the request for the type, outlining the support that they were requesting from the village for a community day. Everything was passed. Then Dominic just mentioned Tony is going to be getting with you anything you need so he can figure out how much personnel he needs, and the DPW support as well. So whatever you need, we are on board for it. The only thing I had written down Matt already covered, and that was to make sure that everyone knew about the Memorial Day event that the VFW was having at Veterans Memorial Park. So hopefully they'll have a nice turnout for that. That's all I have, unless you have some questions.
I have one for you, Diane.
Yes.
How'd they do on their blood drive for the firehouse?
I knew the answer to that.
48.
Thank you.
48.
Yeah,
And they
I
turned.
was
It
eight
was
of-
more than they had projected, so they were very happy with that. They turned away.
They 8 of them couldn't give blood, so it would have been 56.
Wow,
If they could have. The most anybody's ever had.
Great.
excellent. I'm glad you're here.
These sheets, Matt, you're a veteran at this now. So the 4 books, I was thinking maybe you and Brian could go over them and we can make sure everything is good, set something up. If you give Kathleen a date, she'll get the books for you. And then we have to do a resolution saying that you review them.
Yeah, we'll get something to Kathleen in terms of the date.
Okay, perfect. A motion to go executive session for personnel and police issue.
I'll make the motion to go into executive session.
Second,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Monday the 29th. Well, it's
I know the feeling.
I had said a couple of years ago, it'd be real nice, we've got this veterans park, we should have some in the paper.
I have our meetings for
No.
That's so cool, you should do that. It's like a rock concert. They get all like, I got it. We did that.
How?
Yeah. That was the best.
Now, what age group do you have? Oh, okay. So you're brand new to the working with the garden club. Decorating pots, and then they're going to, I wasn't the one that arranged it, so I don't know.
I don't know, we did the thing with the garden club and we're really much. But is it too late?
Yes.
At the Christmas tree?
Yes.
Have the ornaments have to be. There was a lot of restrictions. I'm sorry. Because the girls, 8-year-old girls, just like
I would like that.
I thought we were on the
But in the aquarium, that's okay, right?
You know, saltwater, I had a saltwater tank when I was you ever saltwater on his floor. They are so smart. They are. They can get through.
Wow.
It makes more sound on the floor, squishing.
Yes. And tomorrow we're doing the clamping on business.
Oh, okay.
That wasn't part of Otisville, that's
As soon as he gets in the boat, you know those tops? Really? Because I see him even six back. Those were like that.
You're kidding me! I see tomatoes, Oh, I'm so shopping.
I had so much messages and then there were congratulations. Never did. And I used to my wife to do you. And now I'm trying even though I live 39.
So that, you know, they call everything. So when they get that done, lawyers look at it.
My girlfriend
Like 4 months and then what the story is.
she had a store.
No, it's like, oh, I will, because it's like
Right outside her
work
house.
is like, I was giving you
And so they went online right away, found the said,
they made that.
we need to store somewhere. So she's got
The magazine.
but later she was the same thing, that it apparently was broken. So
So as soon as we left, they just all followed.
Oh, yeah, oh my God, yeah, so I went over to the old one, that's over down the backside. That was called years ago. That's where they're, so we went to talk with them. They told me that us up for setting up with the housing office, with the county. It still exists for all the outreach, everything from teaching classes, outreach, the opiate, of course, we all are, they really know how to teach that. So we have a space they don't, so they're very excited because they realize we are close enough.
I just started.
Cut out some of the
I said, wait, I'm gonna be honey, I wanna do local honey.
Because you walk in there and that, you know, and it's just, anyway, oh yeah. But the building, of course, is beautiful, because we got a pitch roof on the building. The roof is, they redid the roof, it's not the same time as did that infrastructure, they put new wire and cable, right before it closed, you know, 2007 or something. So the building is beautiful, because that flat. So anyway, so the county is just the county side, the county emergency services, they are looking for antennas for the highest structure, and have nothing to reach the second county, so they can start to flow. The coordinate, see where they say they might want to do their EMS with the Red Cross, so if we could rent them offices, we're told that, you know, Purdue government staff have moving around, they are actually, but now we've heard that the rules about local townships have to hold or actually someone who's been arrested in this location. So they might be able to swing us money to create one of those. That should be used by like the magistrate in Port Jervis, magistrate here, the magistrate would have a central location. That's just some of the things. And then everybody else is clamoring. There's great money for it, but a lot of it's going to be donations. Everybody knows that. Not much going on. It's a building. Thank goodness the building is. Yeah. I don't know if we have to do it because the first floor when they did it is handicap accessible. Right, that's fine. Yeah. Worse. The main deck, the ramp goes in the front door. I call the door is that has a ramp. Right, yep, all that. Yep, that's just, exactly. So we're very lucky there that if we can get the first floor, we can get the water on, we can shut off the second floor.
Let's put it this way, I'm not going to overwalk one because I like to light a fire.
We can coverage, and inspected insurance, you know, accessible. And then we can send their functions again. Because it's just the floor. That's what I mean. It's a little nothing, right? I can't community garden, I like to talk garden club. It's a huge building. So basically,
It got much warmer.
It was tight then, but it's right.
One broke down. I think
Oh, this is
I mean,
different.
I stopped. Betty Clark was looking up at me. I stopped. I was doing. I got weak teary. I flew over and gave her a hug. It was just. It really did send you out. See, I was. Oh my God! But she was looking up at me. What's it? Do I say? What's it? Crying out. It was just adorable. And she was excited. Betty Clark. She was no nurse for us, but she. Yeah. Betty Clark.
Yes.
Not Kenny Clark. You remember Kenny Clark was the custodian forever. He lived behind the, up on the hill there, behind the custodian's house, behind the Walkers. But, it really has been this space. I hope that the 4-H, winter mode, they're all indoor down there. They don't have an indoor location. So we talk to them. They want to be real communities. Give them low rent, like so they that would be a great relationship with us. I know in Canada, we're talking about Tommy Bell and Laura. We're going to try to relation see I think it should be like that. But we don't know. But I'll check my also comes to the idea is, ask families if they want to, sponsor a room. That's one way to see what the plan is. Because that building is nowhere. That building is beautiful. Oh yeah, gotcha. Yeah, well Frank, yeah, but lucky I did not talk about it. That look I'm going last. That's been the fun part about, being, it's Alice, which we absolutely love. We're just saying that the two I want to West and we're trying to find some younger folks, not just the two. It's just that 6 of us, Bob, Frank, Bill, Chris Furman, Frank, Chris Furman. Yeah, so which makes it. But now that we get going, of course, we stand up communities and volunteer for stuff. People want to work on the plan. People want to work on the hopefully we have some people who do fundraising.
Like they left it there, or
I still think the fight you're not going to be able to do is too bad. So it's nice to do what we're not going to do. It's so funny. One cross the street, Dennis is in there, so I want to make sure I Yes, so I went this way. So I'm serious because I take the 4-wheel over and I go, just before Mrs. Rasmus. So it's just this one thing about, all the local crap. Once we get it open, then I had an hour for it after I tried to have it over for the first time. Or the yard sale. Yard sale. Think about it. Walk around the school. If everything the vendors are there. Inside open that the first floor feels like it's alive. That'll make the difference. It's the flowers out there, the trees out. We open the lid to the second floor. really amazing. But, you know, there was fireplace in our house. I came up and I tried to it's dry, so great quality. It looks like a bullet the way they were framed. I mean, you can see because there's no water here when the baffles fell over. But it didn't crumble, it just fell over. So literally, it's like put down there and put some more on instead of cracks and shit. But you know, I think we're gonna be fine. Because it's not like the operation.
If you did it in the spring or something, I'm not very good.
O&R does give us a way to do this in our process.
Yes, yes.
You don't have to build it in water, you know, just a few cents off. For so long, you get some bitter people. Hurt
And I suspect.
Right. You really can. You're very, very lucky. Very, very lucky. So I'm going to have to talk to the school budget that's passed. So Dave wrote it. Hey, when you give the school pay, yeah. Well, we're hoping to No, so you're on the first floor, the second floor, third floor, so we'd only use two. Only a little less. That's quite big. That's great, that's great. So free sales cheaper, free lifts cheaper.
Every year we sent out to the
Time an elevator breaks.
where we had the lift they had showed us
The other side, the village side, or the ball field side. So we're lucky on that. Because that's a direct ride, and it's so much cheaper now.
that would
be a because I know because the roof is perfectly in line for the solar both sides because it's not in line with the village and the town.
Like a weekend there, and she said she often gives that gift for friends. So, you know,
yeah, so it's gonna be fun. It's just fun. Yeah, I've only been in 2 or 3 times. The first time I went in, I said, how many was I'm not joking. I just had to touch the wall. It was something different for all of us. You know, I just tug the wall and you can just feel it here.
After an hour, we would just see a sign that says Monticello. So at this point, Kathy had the GPS up on her phone.
Yeah, so it was when I was picking up the sign. Like people who like drive down by me. Just let it ring well, I said, in the gym, we're gonna have at least once a year Memorial basketball tournament. And he was just, oh my god, Mike just goes,
Yeah. I asked him that, no, they don't provide, they use the directions, but I guess he was comfortable following the GPS.
and the stage is underneath the building, so it didn't get affected by the water. So the stage was great. Yeah, yeah.
Nice guy.
Those red.
Free Monday night.
I can't wait for the new fire. They are, they're huge.
Hey, my tickets is I watch my dailies all the time.
Thank you.
My numbers can come up more than once, right?
Motion to come out of executive session.
Yes.
Make the motion to come out of executive session.
All in favor?
Aye.
Kathleen, would you mind reading the resolution for the National Police Week?
Proclamation for National Police Week 2017, to recognize National Police Week 2017 and to honor the service and sacrifice of those law enforcement officers killed in the line of duty while protecting our communities and safeguarding our democracy. Whereas there are approximately 900,000 law enforcement officers serving in communities across the United States, including the dedicated members of the Town of Mount Hope Police Department. Whereas some 60,000 assaults against law enforcement officers are reported each year, resulting in approximately 16,000 injuries. Whereas since the first recorded death in 1791, over 19,000 law enforcement officers in the United States have made the ultimate sacrifice and been killed in the line of duty. Whereas the names of these dedicated public servants are engraved on the walls of the National Law Enforcement Officers Memorial in Washington, D.C. Whereas the service and sacrifice of all officers killed in the line of duty were honored during National Law Enforcement Officers Memorial Fund's 29th Annual Candlelight Vigil on the evening of Saturday, May 13, 2017. Whereas the Candlelight Vigil is part of the National Police Week, which takes place this year on May 14th through 20th, 2017. Whereas May 15th is designated as Peace Officers Memorial Day in honor of all fallen officers and their families. Therefore, be it resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Mount Hope formally designates May 14th through 20th, 2017 as Police Week in the Town of Mount Hope, and publicly salutes the service of law enforcement officers in our community and in communities across the nation.
Thank you, Kathleen. Motion to approve proclamation as read.
I'll make the motion.
Second,
Second motion.
all in favor?
Aye.
I saw I had it in my mailbox. Did everybody get the supervisor's report?
Yes.
Yes, okay. So I'll just add that on there. So how about a motion to approve April's supervisor's report?
I'll make the motion we approve the supervisor's report.
Second,
Second?
all in favor?
Aye.
Fence codes. Well, everyone's digging those out. Mammocating, interested party, I had a resident come down, I believe it was on Thursday, and they live on the Sullivan County border, and apparently back in 2007 when they started doing construction on the ridge by her. Everybody was getting flooded out underneath. So they ended up stopping, and now there's a proposed 15.4 acre solar farm going in there, and they're scared that the same exact thing's going to happen, and obviously run into Mount Hope, where some of our residents may also be affected. So I took the liberty of contacting David and making sure that we're an interested party, so we can kind of follow this as it moves along. But there was really no time to wait for the meeting. David, thank you for getting that over there so quickly. And at the very least, at least all of the correspondence will be kept up to date, hopefully on.
I have a question.
Sure.
Dean, some of the roads mentioned in these letters to the town of Mamakating include town roads, part of Spruce Road, and then we've got in the Whispering Hills section there, Mark and Maureen and Jean Ridge. Is there any possibility that if there's excess water runoff, like it's stated here, that it could potentially damage our roads if it's not handled properly?
Yeah, especially Spruce, it's all gonna come down. I don't think it will hit Jean Ridge, because it's gotta go uphill to get to the town in that whole part. But yeah, definitely Spruce and Mark.
Is there something we could do, David, to voice our concern for the runoff damaging the town roads to the town of Mamakating?
We already have. Through the letter I sent, we identified the roads that were of concern. We expressed interest in watching the runoff concerns. I've requested a copy of the application, which I hope to have this week or next week, but we'll keep on top of it.
Do you think that this project will have a secret action?
It's gonna have to, I would think.
So is there at that point, if it gets to that point, we could have more involvement?
Yes.
Okay.
And in the meantime, of course, the representatives from the town and the individual property owners that had written letters previously, planning board meetings are all open to the public, so they can certainly attend those meetings and voice whatever concerns they have.
Who are they that are doing this?
It was Cool Solar is the name of the company, on a property located in Mamakating.
Oh, individual private property.
Sorry that I'm bouncing around a little. Fence quotes? Anyone have any questions?
To go along with these, do we have the information on like the signage, what kind of signs we need, what is required, and what it would cost?
Not for signage, no.
That would probably be a part of it. Have we contacted the insurance company to see what their view is on this and what extra insurance costs would be if we do something like this?
On a dog park? Well, no, I mean, all you guys asked for were the quotes. So I got some, the diagrams are there, what they need to do it is there. If you would like, I will get in touch with the insurance company, and I will get in touch with signage.
I think it's probably an appropriate move. I think we need all the details before we
Okay.
act. But that's my opinion.
That's fine.
I've got a question. Did they have a written spec they went off of? Because two of the quotes had different linear foot differences in terms of the fence.
There had been, with the one, I had used the thing from years ago, and then realized that we should probably have 2 larger gates to get in for mowing, 2 larger gates to get in the event that there was a situation and EMTs or EMS needed to get in there. So it's all, it shows on each thing what it is.
Well, there's 3 different foots, 3 different footnotes. Each one's different. Okay.
150, 150.
Biltwell's got a 6-foot depth on the entry gates. Excelsior's got a 4-foot depth on the entry gates, and Bears doesn't give a depth on the entry gates. So I would say that's where we're gonna have the most obvious difference.
Well, guys wanna email me your questions and your thoughts, I will reach back out and, get you what you'd like.
I'd just like to touch base on the original contract that we had, giving us someone who's coming in. Thank you, Matt.
While you're digging that out, I think my concerns are just the maintenance of it, as it is with anything else. I mean, we got a skeleton crew now. I mean, I guess everyone would be hopeful that everyone's gonna look after their dog, but in the event that they don't, I can just see everyone saying it's not my job to clean it up, but.
Well, I mean, what I found when speaking to the other dog parks was that that was not the case. There were not any issues. I mean, I know Dominic had brought up a suggestion, for a situation in a dog park further north of here, where that was the issue, and they closed the dog park down. In the places that I reached out to, it was not, and it was also more of the people who bring their dogs to the dog park try to really police what others are doing. If they see somebody who is not picking up their dog poop, then they're gonna, point out, hey, you're not picking up a poop, will you pick that up, please? Is that to say that that would absolutely be the case in Mount Hope? No. But again, as I've, shared, I have not found, towns that I've spoken to have said that this is nothing but an asset, that people enjoy bringing their dogs to the park, and they do not have those same issues.
Who would police the dogs, or the people that own the dogs, to find out if they have their shots, to see if they're registered in the town? I'm curious, Paul, do you have manpower that can stand at the dog park and police that? Because I don't think our dog catcher is gonna step up to the plate and do that. And go ahead, Paul. I'm sorry.
No, I was saying, we couldn't stay there all the time, but certainly if there's a complaint, we would be able to respond to deal with.
And I'm gonna make this statement. 3 of us on the town board here are involved, either own or involved with a small business. And I just find it horrible that we have something from a local fence company dated 11/21 of 13 that we actually went off of to get specs from 3 other
Actually,
companies.
it was added, the specs were changed, moving into it. And you expressed your anger and discontent earlier.
Not anger, I'm just curious what
or
Catching Fence
disgust.
has to say about the phone.
And I had explained how I came up with these 3. And I had also reached out to Ketchum Fencing, and I had spoken to Rob Ketchum, and he had given me Jerry Ketchum's number, and I left a message for Jerry Ketchum, and I did not hear back. So, I mean, this was not something that was done intentionally. I can absolutely still reach out to them and get a 4th vote.
I don't wanna put you on the spot, do you have a response to anything that we're talking about up here?
Bob did speak to Janet, and he told Gerald, that's, the
Gerald,
president,
okay.
that you would be calling, and he did get your message,
Okay.
and but it was more regarding someone wanted to donate the gates for the dog park.
No,
And
that's
he
not the
returned,
message
he
I
returned
left.
the call and left 2 messages, and didn't hear back after he left those 2 messages. It was never said, we're looking to get a re-quote on this bid. We could have done that so easily. It was never expressed that you were looking for us to bid the dog park again.
It was
It was never, but that was never left in the message, and he did call back twice and left 2 messages and didn't
Okay,
hear
well,
back after that.
I'm sorry, I have not received.
So
2
it seems to be
messages, and it
misunderstood,
really
that we
wasn't.
would like
There was
to
never
re-quote
any-
it if we could. We would like
No,
to have the opportunity.
absolutely, of course we
Yeah,
code it, please.
So that would be
and I
good.
can
Have it on
give
your
you the
desk,
new-
7 o'clock tomorrow morning.
I can give you the new,
Yes, we
a
would
draw.
really
I mean,
appreciate that.
absolutely.
We were just a little surprised that we didn't get that, someone didn't drop off the actual specs, usually when they ask you to bid something, especially when it's different from what we originally quoted
Mhm.
back in 2013, you would say, it's changed, we're gonna email you, we're gonna fax you, we're gonna drop off the new specs, can you please
Yeah.
bid it? And we would have gotten it to you within an hour.
I'm sure,
So,
there's no doubt in my mind that you would have. There was never any conversation though about somebody donating fencing or anything like that. It was really just a
Someone did
bid.
come in and ask us about it at one point, saying they were interested in donating maybe the gates for that project.
I,
And then, like I said,
I
but
don't
we
know
hadn't
about
heard
that.
anything else back, we didn't know that that you were looking for quotes again, so we would like to rebid that, is all.
no, I mean,
So,
after the
yeah.
meeting.
So, great, thank you.
Yeah, no, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, so we're tabling defense. 2016 annual report. Kathleen, you said you needed a date. I have 3/31/2017.
Okay.
So what do we have to do with it?
You just have to say that the annual report was filed as of that date.
Okay, so our 2016 annual report was filed 3/31/2017
The state comptroller's office.
to the New York State Comptroller's Office. All the board members got a copy of it? Perfect.
Yes, we did.
I'll save all the good information in that for another day. Try to move along. I would like a motion to promote Anna Versina to acting sergeant.
I'll make that motion.
Second?
I'll second the motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed?
Okay.
Abstain.
All right. Ayes have it. Motion to pay the bills.
I'll make a motion, we pay our bills.
Second?
Second motion?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Public participation.
No, you have the budget
Oh,
modification.
sorry. You want to read that, Kathleen? I'm sorry.
Please increase revenue line in account 1520 for the amount of 191.72 for police service rendered to Cornell Cooperative Extension, Orange County, and increase the revenue line in police personal services, account A 3120.1 by $192 to represent this payment.
And Paul, what was this for?
This was the run that we did the traffic control for.
For the police services for Cornell.
For 4-H, correct.
Okay.
The first weekend in April, I don't know the
Yep.
exact date.
It was April 1st.
Is that what it was?
Yep. Motion to approve the budget modification.
Make the motion.
Second?
Second the motion?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Did I forget anything else?
No.
All right. Kathleen and I only had a few things on here, and the list just got longer. Public participation. You're up.
First, I'd like to congratulate the police department, all of you, doing such a good job. As Chief Ricard knows, my own dad was a retired police officer in the city of Middletown. So I have a lot of pride and respect for police in general. However, that's not the purpose of my visit this evening. I have something that I wrote I'd like to read. It would probably be, the conclusion of something that's been split up over several meetings due to the time limit. I don't think that it would take much more than 3 minutes. I'd like to complete it if I may.
Oh, you're already up at a minute.
Not fair. This is concerning Mrs. Sutherland, Town of Mount Hope Councilwoman. Dear Town of Mount Hope Board,
You didn't chase them away, don't worry, they're just opening the door.
I want them to hear what I'm doing. Due to time constraints placed by this town board, my speaking on one subject has been drawn out amongst a few meetings. My comments regarding Mrs. Janet Sutherland are based on facts, as I know them, and do concern the taxpayers of this town, and indeed perhaps at some future date might concern the voters and taxpayers of Orange County. In response to some inquiries, the only thing personal about my comments is my own personal disappointment in Mrs. Sutherland's job performance. She appears to be choosing which assigned duties she will perform, while blatantly ignoring others.
Would you please make sure that this is completely addressing town board, town business?
As far as I can tell, it is.
She has also displayed a lack of individualism since she was first elected to serve with the previous town board.
How is that?
You're taking up my time, Mrs. Sutherland, excuse me. You can address me after I'm done.
Okay.
She seemed to be a yes man to that board and now seems to offer minimal input, even when directly asked. Mrs. Sutherland has not proven herself, displayed in the following: changing her political party from Democratic to Republican to run for town councilwoman when the town board was a Republican majority. Village of Otisville liaison. Last attendance recorded April 7th, 2016.
Jill, I'm sorry, your 3 minutes are up.
Has attended 4 meetings, missed 24, and counting.
Anybody else?
To be continued. For sure.
Diane? Bob?
I know, last meeting, Frank thanked everybody. I couldn't make it, we had a meeting notice, so I wanted to thank everybody too. I want to thank all the board members, every single one of them. I want to thank Jack for your consistent and very fair treatment of us throughout this whole process. I want to thank David, he's been very helpful throughout everything, and it's really been a pleasure dealing with everybody throughout this whole thing. The only problem we have now is we're getting complaints about the grass. I think we're in violation of Otisville's grass policy now. It does look like it's getting worse every day. We're willing to go up there and mow it. It's up to you guys. We can take care of it. We have the contract signed, and we're just, because I figure the closing, we don't have a date yet. It's gonna happen, but this could be later this week, it could be next week. So, it's not imminent, and every day it gets worse and worse. And people are complaining.
They can have proof up there tomorrow.
At least bang it down a little bit.
I don't wanna create work for Dean.
They
I know,
gotta
but
go
at the
out
same
and
time,
mow
God
tomorrow,
forbid somebody
so
gets
they'll
hurt.
start up
Power
there.
equipment and all that, that's probably best to do.
Okay.
Just we'll get it knocked down for you, and hopefully after that.
After that, you don't have to worry about it, Dean, I promise.
Thanks, Steve.
Sorry, Dean.
Thanks,
That's
Bob.
it. Thank you very much.
I can't wait to give you that big wad of cake.
Once again, I have a little hodgepodge of things, but, the garden club will be doing their spring planting tomorrow, and one of the projects we have taken on this year is to plant the Rotary's Peace Pole at the town park. So if you see people there and wonder where they came from or what they're doing there, that it's the garden club, doing that project. Not positive that will take place tomorrow, because, what we do in the village, actually those plants are donated, from Wessel's. What we're doing for the Rotary, we're purchasing the plants, so I don't know if they've done that yet or not, but it will get done, so if you see people up at the Peace Pole, they'll wonder where they came from or what they're doing there. Mentioned to Dean that we have a trip going out, this Wednesday. It's just a day trip, so there shouldn't be any issue with parking, hopefully. And the only other thing I had a town resident who lives on Kohler Road, discussing the cable issue with me again, and I know Ken has brought it up about the small pockets here in the town that aren't covered. And, she had, this resident is my sister, everybody knows that. She called the cable company to complain, which she does routinely, to say like, it's 300 feet from where the line is, and they said, same thing they always do, absolutely, we'll run that for you, it'll cost you $3,000. Which she's not inclined to say yes to. But they did, as she pressed them, kind of say, well, things are gonna be looked at in the near future. So I was just wondering if you had heard anything back from them.
When I first started negotiating, I started negotiating with Time Warner Cable. At some point about 2 months ago, they changed all of their numbers overnight. So it took me a couple days to get in touch then with Spectrum. Spectrum is looking at it. The actual franchise agreement itself is currently in the bureaucracy trying to get approval. And the coverage issue, Apparently Spectrum, as part of the merger, is required to provide 144,000 homes across the state that didn't have access already, free access now. So we're working on trying to get that included, particularly on those homes located on Mountain Road. So we have been in contact with them. The new person is more responsive than the original person was. So I'm really hoping within the next few weeks I should have something.
Well, as I said, one of the concerns that I have, not that I don't want Mountain Road addressed, there are more people there affected. This is a very small strip of Kohler Road. More than half of the road has cable, which Kathy can attest to. And then from there until the next intersection does not. And at the intersection it starts again.
Can you send me a list of those addresses?
Sure.
I can put that into a supplement.
Sure, absolutely. Thanks.
And I have something for you. I got contacted by someone up at Mix over the weekend, and I actually forwarded it to Brian. I guess someone went on Minnesink Moms and Dads, and had a small issue, so I forwarded it to Brian, but I also took your website tonight and put it on the town Facebook page, so maybe people that are online can see it now.
Okay.
Just tell me.
Can you forward it to me as well?
Absolutely.
Okay. Thank you.
Anybody else?
Yeah, one more. She got most of it.
I was just gonna say, you're not getting the cable this week.
You know, this is really, it's really kind of funny, she got most of it. So I actually wanted to say thank you to him. If you did not know, David allowed me to do I actually did poll by poll, which probably freaked Spectrum out. Poll number to poll number of these pieces, and if you could give me specific addresses, that would be great, because it would supplement that snapshot that those folks are gonna say, hey, wait, these guys are dead serious. So with that, I don't have to do that piece. So the governor has an incredible program, and sadly, we live in a region that is seen as rather depressed when it comes to IT accessibility. So in the light of the new community center that's going to be the gem of the region, we would love to work with that. I will volunteer that time that we could bring that together, and that's because that's for the entire town. So as we update the franchise agreement, that'd be fantastic. We would love to be able to do that. I mean, I'm not speaking, but the community center, I mean, everything you can imagine people are asking us for, you know, the learning centers, all that stuff, to really be this little IT hub that we could be here, because we actually have the outside access. I don't know, Brian, you may know that. There's some, and where's that, my frontier goddess, who just got me up, you know, and running that people couldn't do for 3 years. But there are some great hubs that we have that I think if we put some emphasis on it, kind of Mount Hook, kind of like a green project, you know, an IT project that's funded outside, so that would be great. I would also just like to tag on to the dog park piece. Could we ask Doc Roeder or even Doc Johnson? There's some real concerns. I just lost my dog, and one of the things when I came home that Doc knew that I would know about is that she asked me specifically, do you take Rita to a dog park? The distemper and the leptospirosis, which is from urine, not from feces, is a real concern because we live in such a rural area. So just, I'd really like to see if those two could be, you know, maybe ask Doc to come in, because she does so much for the community anyway. There could be some real concerns. Thanks.
Anybody else? All right. Board comments. What do you got, Matt?
Just to follow with you, Ken, I think anywhere from $14,000 to $17,000 for 4 people that want to walk their dogs, it's a little outrageous. Like you said, there's a larger community concern that Jan and I brought up the fact that the dog park in Rhinebeck, which is to the east of the Hudson River, they closed the dog park due to the lack of maintenance or upkeep by the citizens with the fecal matter from the animals, which got onto adjacent athletic fields, is why the town shut the park because of the nuisance it presented to the youth activity area. That's all.
The next master plan, when is that?
The 18th Thursday at 5 p.m. here at the town hall.
Right?
2 months from today is our community day.
What?
Yeah, it's gonna be here before you know it. Posted something on Facebook that Chad had given me to, no more food vendors, we're completely booked. Definitely looking for some more arts and craft vendors. And if anyone else is curious what's going on, it's gonna happen from 12 p.m. to 10 p.m. on Saturday, July 15th. More information obviously is online on our Facebook page, trying to promote that, which brings me to this. Our website, we have 15,222 hits as of 6 o'clock tonight. I don't know exactly what people are going on there and looking at, but we put a meter on it, and every time I look at the number, I realize every time I look at the number, I'm adding one, but I'm mind boggled by the numbers, is all I'm saying. So keep visiting.
Janet?
Yes, I just have one thing to read as well, mine's not 3 minutes. That one of my students, when I was working with them last week, we were having some issues in school, and he had just read the book, The 5 People You Meet in Heaven. And we were talking about the book and how doing the right thing is sometimes difficult. He shared with me this quote, and he had made a big, for our literary fair, a big thing. It says, "Holding anger is a poison. It eats you from inside. And we think that by hating someone, we hurt them. But hatred is a curved blade, and the harm we do to others, we also do to ourselves." Just thought someone might like to hear that.
Huh?
And I have no comments tonight, except for, let's get Paul's thing going.
I also wanted to, I'm sorry. I also wanted to thank Paul. I had a ton of people reach out to me regarding your presence, the presence that Otisville had in Otisville Elementary School last week, 2 weeks ago, when there were some issues on the main campus. You know, thank you very much for that.
Really, the only thing that I have is Community Day, like Brian said, it's 2 months away, so any of the board members that would like to be more involved or less involved with Community Day, that's totally fine. If there's anyone from the public that would like to get involved with Community Day, let me know. As it gets closer, I'm realizing it's an awful lot to handle. I think it's going to be a great day, so email me, call me, text me, whichever. If you're interested, I can use as much help as we can possibly get to make it a successful day. Without any further ado, floor is yours.
Are you going to adjourn the meeting first?
Well, it doesn't say that. You want me to?
Well, it's before you adjourn, but I didn't know if you were going to do that. We've done 2 different things.
All right, so I want to thank everyone for coming. When we're all done with the awards, please stay for a piece of cake and drink the coffee. We had a big debate over should we make coffee, is it too late? So I insisted that we do the coffee. So please, if you can, have a piece of cake and some coffee and some cookies. But I want to thank everyone for coming. This year it works out that we're having our meeting actually the same night as the police memorial was, which was this morning. And it's nice that this has actually lined up perfectly for this week. Last week I started my finished 7 years. I'm in my 8th year here, which I think about, I think is amazing that I've actually been able to be here for that long. And to be able to work with such a dedicated and devoted group of officers. And, you know, I'd be remiss not to thank the board because, you know, the entire board, from the town supervisor on down, to David, to Kathleen, they're really what makes everything work. Anytime I've had any problems, and Dean got up, I don't know where Dean went, but also Dean, like everyone has made things work. We couldn't do the job, or I couldn't do the things without everyone's help. The entire board, Chad, David, everybody. So I just want to thank everybody for that. So like we've done in past years, we're going to give out awards first for productivity awards. And we like to do that for the officers that go out there and make a lot of arrests or make the most arrests and write the most tickets. Last year, we saw a double-digit drop in crime once again. One thing we started to keep track of is response time, because that seems to be something that a lot of people say, oh, it took so long, or why does it take so long? And we have a pretty large town, over 20 square miles. But our response time last year was 6 minutes and 29 seconds. For a town this large, I think that's a tribute to the officers to get to the calls in a timely fashion. The national average is about 10 minutes, and some of the larger cities and areas is even more. So I want to thank all the officers, the entire department, for getting out there, for bringing crime down, helping bring crime down, for writing tickets. We wrote more tickets, we made more arrests. We answered about the same amount of calls. I think we were within 15 calls of the previous year.
So at this time, I would like to call up, first, Officer Anna Brasino. This slide is- Thank you. So we'd like to present the department and Chad a certificate of merit to Officer Anna Brasino in recognition and her valued contributions to public safety in the town of Mount Hope. And Anna last year led the department in arrests. One of the things about Anna's arrest numbers and ticket numbers is because she does field training, a lot of her arrests and tickets go to the officers that she's training. So the fact that she has these numbers is even more impressive to us. So I want to present you with this certificate. If Angelo could come up. So Angelo was #1 in tickets and 4th in arrests for the year. So once again, Angelo has done an outstanding job in helping keep our crime numbers down and our roads safe. So we'd like to give him a certificate of merit. It's awarded to him in recognition of his valuable contributions to traffic enforcement and public safety in the town of Mount Hope in 2016. There's two officers that I want to mention that got commendations. One was Officer Jose Santiago, who unfortunately could not be here tonight, and he was awarded a certificate for his traffic enforcement numbers. If anyone's seen him at the corner, he likes those stop signs, he likes those speeders coming in on Mountain Road. So Jose's out there, you probably met him. Jose does an excellent job. He's a hard worker. And unfortunately, he couldn't be here tonight, but we'll present him this when I see him next. And it's a certificate award to Officer Jose Santiago in recognition of his valuable contributions to traffic enforcement and public safety in 2016. So I will get that to him. In addition, Nick Iannuzzi, who took a job with the Sheriff's Office at night, he still works for us during the day, but he received 2 commendations. He finished #3 in arrests and #2 in tickets for the year, so he'll be awarded 2 commendations in recognition of his valuable contributions to public safety in the town of Mount Hope in 2016. So we'll give them to him also. Just to touch really a little quickly on traffic enforcement, I know I threw something out on Facebook today. I was out this morning at 6 o'clock, someone complained on Friday about a traffic issue. If you have traffic complaints, it's really the #1 complaint I get. But let me know and we'll do the best we can to get there. It's kind of like when it rains, it pours. On Friday, like 4 different people called me about spots, and we tried to get to all of them at least once over the last few days. But we have a traffic hot list, so if you want to get added to that, let me know and we'll add you to that list. You can shoot me an email or send me a message on Facebook. Jim and Angela, if you could come on up. So when I came here, I started 2 awards, a Police Officer of the Year award and a Dedicated Service Award. And since that time, we've been giving these awards out. And it's hard sometimes to come up with the recipients of these awards. And one of the things that we talked about this year, and Deputy Chief Jim Corcoran, Sherry Clark helped me with this, is the amount of time that Jim and Angelo have spent working here in Mount Hope. They started in March of 1996, which is 21 years ago, over 21 years ago. So that's really, for a part-time police officer, that's a remarkable amount of time here. And as you can see by the tickets Angelo wrote and the time you see Jim out there, they're out there on the streets. Jim's always walking around at the park, he's writing tickets. Angelo's out there every year, seems getting tickets and arrests. So this year we decided to give co-recipients. So we would like to present Jim and Angelo. First I'll give it to you, Jim. The 2016 Dedicated Service Award in grateful appreciation of your dedicated service to the residents of the town of Mount Hope.
Thank you, sir. I'm just short and sweet. I'm proud to serve this administration, and I'm proud to serve the residents of Otisville and the town of Mount Hope, and I hope to be here a lot longer.
And also, they started the same day. So I think Jim, by like union rules, is senior because his last name starts with an R. Angelo. So, anyway, so we'd like to present Angelo's 2016 Dedicated Service Award in grateful appreciation for your dedicated service to the residents of the town of Mount Hope.
Thank you, everyone, I appreciate it.
Wait, hang on, it's the same thing every year, right?
And you know, Angel, I forgot to give a call out to your dad. I actually worked, not with your dad, but when he was still a visible presence, he used to come in all the time. And his help to us was very much appreciated, even on his later years in life. So, but I meant to mention that before.
Thank you, that means a lot.
Bob, you want to come on up? Sure. So, you know, when we talked about the Police Officer of the Year Award, we were looking for somebody that is, you know, not just a one single incident that they did really good work, but a body of work over the course of the year. And I think that instantly we all kind of came up with Bob's name. As a lot of you know, Bob does a lot of, internally he does all the medical training, he does the tourniquet training, the CPR, the AD, but he also gives the community and does that on a regular basis. I think, how many people did we do? Over 40, right?
Over 40 last year.
People in the community.
He cringes when I call.
I'll be back here tomorrow.
And he does a great job with that. In addition, he does a great job with the follow-up. So he goes on the call and there's a broken fence or someone drove across the lawn and Bob takes that information, he follows up, he comes in, he does the follow-up work, he makes the phone calls, which I know is very much appreciative, and he's great with the people. He's great with the kids. I mean, he's an instructor at BOCES, so he's got a natural, you know, he's a natural with the kids. He sets up with all that.
Oh, the ride-along.
He does the ride-alongs. And he's always willing to help out. You know, there's many times I'll call Bob up, hey Bob, we got an open shift, can you come and help out? And Bob does it. So Bob has done a great job over the course of the year, and I'm proud to present him with the 2016 Police Officer of the Year Award for outstanding achievement and dedication to public safety in the town of Mount Hope.
Thanks to the town board and everybody here. I remember when Paul said something to me about, you know, that this was going to come my way. First of all, I was thinking, is Paula going to make a cake? You know, she did, and it's terrific. But to be honest with you, you know, I love working here just like Jim and just like every other officer here. Something about the town of Mount Hope that's very personal, and obviously we live here, and we've lived here for the last 16, 17 years. I always have to look to my wife to find out. But it's, you know, I love it here. I love doing the follow-ups. You know, I mean, when I'm in town or at the park or at the yard sale or at the fair, I always like to talk to a lot of people, and you know, it's just, you know, I don't know, it's just what I like to do. So I really enjoy working here, just like everybody else. And as Jim said, hopefully a lot longer, 9 more years, I think. And that's it. Okay, thank you very much.
So that concludes our awards for tonight. Again, I want to thank everyone for coming, everyone that gives your support throughout the year. I really appreciate it. We're going to stay, the officers can stay, just do a couple pictures. But everyone else, please come up, have the cake. I forgot, Paula made the cake this year, and it looks delicious. And I know Anna's daughter needs a little sugar, so if we can go to the, come on up, have some cake, or turn it back over to Chad, right?
Yep, I'm looking for a motion to adjourn, but before I say that, we have one of the only part-time police departments in Orange County. We might be the only one left.
The last one.
Everybody else has
Thank you,
full-time.
because you know what? 99% of you have other obligations, and you still take the time to put 100% in here, and we appreciate it. Thank you very much from all of us.
Thank you.
Motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Second?
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
So why don't we get everyone quick up here and do a picture for the banner?
Yeah, yeah.